Well, this is interesting news. Heavy Metal Magazine has been gone for a couple of years, and they just announced their return. Of course, like usual, they kind of had a tumultuous time over the pandemic years, and it seems like some people there dropped the ball. There might be new leadership involved. I don't know exactly, but I can go over the history of what happened kind of in that incident and let you know kind of where things are at as well as we kind of speculate like what is going on with this magazine and is it going to be pretty good? I don't know yet, but we have some solid indicators. It looks like these people actually care about science fiction, fantasy, and comics and not just the woke agenda of the normal comic industry, which is a good thing. And that's a good thing, as they often say. So we'll get into the news in just a moment. This is my Fandom Pulse blog, and I write up the comic and science fiction news here, guys. And this is in the description below. I'd love for you to sign up for this. You just get an email blast when I write an article every day, sometimes 2 articles every day. And that way you keep up to date on what's going on in my written media, which is one of the few places out here who actually reports on this stuff. And I'm also a comic book creator, my friends. And I have a great book. If you're a fan of heavy metal, those European comics, the European sci-fi comics, that's my influence more than anything. This is a Space Marine comic, and the Emerald Array is the elite group of the Terran Imperium going out to fight the Xenos on behalf of humanity. And it's a lot of fun, action-packed. I actually have an art style by our artist Matt Vey, who did work that it looks like Jack Kirby. It's freaking awesome. This is everything I ever wanted out of comics myself. And so I'm hoping that you'll come in on this and enjoy it as well. So check this out. It's in the description below. It's on Fund My Comic, and I got banned from Kickstarter because they don't like my commentary on things. They, as much as these people try to hold us down, they can't stop the signal. And so we are on a free speech platform that allows free artistic expression. As much as Kickstarter wants to try to hold us down, we're not going to be silenced or be intimidated by those jerks over there, is what it comes down to. And as we grow in our influence here, I'm going to be going hard on Kickstarter, I can tell you that. But here is the Emerald Array. Please back it. It's in the description below. Already 200 backers in our first week. This is a huge, huge deal for an alternative platform, and very, very happy with how this is going so far. Check it out. There's digital versions if you want to go in inexpensive. There are like hardcover versions, a little something for everybody, and that's what we try to do here. Like I said, if you like heavy metal, you'll enjoy this. And do hit the like and subscribe button, my friends, as we talk about all things in comic culture. I love how this is growing. 5,000 subscribers over the last week. Thank you for helping us over here. So Heavy Metal Magazine is back. And, of course, this is one of the premier magazines of the 80s and 90s. It had some really, really great Euro comics in it and some great artists who just put American comics to shame. And people came in on this magazine, and this was kind of their first exposure to Euro comics in a lot of spots. Now, it did have a little bit of degeneracy in it. They kind of pushed the boundaries on that level and in typical 80s and 90s fashion, and I expect that will stay the same with any kind of new reboot here. But it was bought in the 90s by Kevin Eastman, who owned the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, he was into it, and so he bought it, ran it for years, sold it to like a record producer, and then they sold it to like a conglomerate who's like Heavy Metal LLC or something like that. And they were having some troubles in the mid 2000s, where or not mid 2000, mid 2020 or late. Gosh, what am I saying? 2019 to 2022, that era, where they were having funding problems and things like that. And they made a deal with Whatnot, which is an app like for online commerce. And Whatnot was going to help publish the books. And they ended up coming out with one magazine out of the 12 that were promised. And then just there were financial problems. Somebody dropped the ball, and it just kind of evaporated and went by the wayside in 2022. So now we're 2 years later, and we got this tweet the other day from the official account saying, "What if I told you that not only is the magazine coming back, but we also have the new cover. This is the blurred out cutout from the new cover, occupying less than 1% of the total surface area. Can you guess what it is?" Deleting this post. And this was the teaser a couple of days ago. And then yesterday they came out with the magazine cover. And I love this cover, first off. They did a great job here. And they're going to have a new issue coming out. And they don't have much detail other than that. But I got some. And they said Heavy Metal is coming back with a brand new issue 1 featuring legendary Greg Hildenbrandt as the cover artist. We couldn't be more thrilled to finally bring the magazine back. Join us on Discord, where we'll be making many heavy metal-related announcements first, and then they posted their Discord link. So naturally, I joined their Discord to see what was going on, because that's what we got to do. And the first thing I was looking for was, is there a bunch of woke stuff going on? I don't know. And there wasn't. It seemed like people actually into science fiction, fantasy, and comics. And I joined, and I'm there. And several of you guys have already joined because of my fandom. I put the link in my Fandom Pulse Substack there. And I started kind of just tooling through the Discord, looking for what's going on, and saw the different editors of the magazine. Now, the different editors of the magazine were named as Frank Forte, Chris Thompson, and Dave Kelly. And so I'm not familiar with those gentlemen, but they are in the server answering questions with people. And so far, we found out basically that they are not coming out with this issue in 2024. It'll be 2025 when it actually does drop. And this answer came from Frank Forte on Twitter, who I then followed because of his response. I thought was really a good answer here. They got asked right now, can heavy metal even exist again in these PC times? And that's really asking about woke and cancel culture out there, right? Will it have the best creators doing their best work, and will it be rock and roll badass like it was, or another bland safe space? If it's going back to its roots, I want in. Now, this is a valid concern for comic fans, and a lot of companies would just dismiss it, attack the fans, call them trolls, say that they're toxic fandom, etc. And they didn't do that. And this is a really, really good sign. I really appreciate that, because so much of the comic industry is so terrible. We know that a lot of initiatives get brought back, and they are bland distilled versions of things that came before. They're skin suits, right? They aren't the same properties. I mean, if you're looking at the way that they're doing it, they did a Star Trek relaunch at IDW. It's just terrible fan fiction. They relaunched, they called it EC Comics earlier this year, but it came from Oni Press, who's publishing the genderqueer stuff, pushing all the same agendas as Marvel and DC Comics. Even DC Comics' new relaunch, they turned Batgirl into a black chick. It's like, it just never stops. They're not what they were. Batman's not Batman anymore. Should call him Bat Them, I guess. And the comic industry's just been a complete disaster. Now, heavy metal was really the ones pushing the boundaries. And what's interesting is that a lot of these people who pushed boundaries in the 80s and 90s now are the ones calling for safe spaces and the like. Like, they wanted their edgy boundaries, but they don't want to be edgy against corporate culture now, which is crazy to me. These punk rockers out there who are bought and sold by corporations. It's insane. So we're hoping heavy metal wouldn't do that. And this is, like I said, I don't know what's going to happen. We'll, of course, review the first issue here when it comes out. But this is a great sign from Frank Forte here. He says, it will be back to its roots, but we need fans like you to help spread the word. We need to bring back old fans, get the new younger fans who like hard-hitting science fiction, fantasy, and horror. And back to its roots is a good sign. Because, again, a lot of this stuff would be canceled by current modern-day woke culture, and it's something that they wouldn't allow to exist these days. So if they are going back to those roots like they promise, I expect this book will be a pretty decent thing, at least to start. We'll see how it goes, and we'll hope it's going to be successful, because it is something that is an indicator of the culture. And if they push back against mainstream culture and just do their own thing and don't care about the Whisper Network within comics, they're going to succeed. If they give into that crap, like so many others have done before, they're not going to succeed, and that's how it's going to go. So the website right now is it says it's under construction. There's nothing there. They say that's not going to be coming back very shortly. A bunch of people apparently did buy back issues before the website went down, and some haven't gotten those, and they're working on issuing refunds and all that. So these guys are looking like they're providing customer service, doing the right thing, and caring about comic book fans, which is always a good thing. We'll see. All right, what do you think about this? Do you think heavy metal can make a comeback for real? Leave a comment down below. Hit the like and subscribe button, my friends. I appreciate you being there. And of course, please read this heavy metal rockstar book, The Emerald Array, on Fund My Comic right now. This is honestly everything you've ever been waiting for in science fiction comics. It's a 66-page graphic novel, and it can be yours in the description below. Thank you so much. We'll be back soon.